The movie starts with Russians opening a chamber with a crucifix-shaped key. The key has two parts that join together to form one whole key. In the chamber, they have a computer, which has an active learning defense system which makes their submarine invisible to other armies. The computer gets bugged, that makes the submarine fire a missile to self-destruct the submarine itself. The explosion drowns the submarine and kills everyone on board. IMF agent Ethan Hunt is assigned the mission to retrieve one half of the key, which is with his friend Ilsa Faust. She at present is located somewhere in Arabian desert. She has a large bounty over her head, due to which mercenary groups are also trying to find her. Ethan goes to the desert, fight with mercenaries alongside Ilsa and gets half of the key from her. He tells her to lay low for the time being. Back in the US, a meeting of top defense officials is going on, which is headed by IMF Director Kittredge and Defense Director Denlinger. They are discussing about an artificial intelligence, called the Entity. It was initially made to destroy all digital communications, but the Entity became rogue and entered into every defense channel of the world to gain access and become powerful. Now it knows all controls and secrets and can work on its own. Every power in the world is trying to get hold of the key, as somehow it can control the Entity. Ethan infiltrates this meeting and gets to know about the importance the key. Ethan becomes rogue, as his thoughts do not match with the IMF Director Kittredge, as he wants to keep the key to be powerful, and Ethan wants to destroy it to save the world. Ethan tells his plan to Benji and Luther. He tells them he has information of a buyer who is on his way to Venice, and is landing on Abu Dhabi airport for half an hour. He is there to buy one half of the key. Ethan thinks the buyer must be having the other half already. All they need to do is to sell him the key, and follow him to Venice, to see what the whole key opens, as the key is of no use, unless they know what it opens. US defense agents also reach Abu Dhabi in search of Ethan. Benji locates the buyer, but before Ethan could approach him, a girl steals the key from the buyer. Benji informs Ethan she is Grace, a professional burglar and a thief with multiple identities. Ethan intercepts her and pickpockets the key. A passenger brings a bag, which Benji confirms Luther, it's a bomb and is to be loaded on the Venice plane, which both buyer and Ethan are going to board. He rushes to defuse it, but finds it to be a false alarm. As he informs Ethan about it, Ethan observes he has lost Grace, along with the key. Suddenly, he sees a glimpse of Gabriel, who vanishes in front of him. He is the same man who killed his wife before he joined IMF. Ethan aborts the mission, and somehow saving himself from the agents, goes behind Grace alone. Grace is taken into custody as she lands in Venice. The authorities inform her they already had information about her travel with her fake passports and all charges against her in other countries. She is placed under arrest. Suddenly, they are interrupted by her lawyer, who happens to be Ethan. Ethan tells her he will save her if she gives him the key and all the information. She informs him her mission at the airport was to follow Ethan and extract the key and deliver it to someone in Venice tomorrow at the midnight gala. Ethan gets her out of there with the agents on their tail. Someone else is also trying to kill them, it's Paris, who is Gabriel's associate. In the chase, Ethan somehow manages to escape from all, but Grace leaves him and runs away when he is stuck in the car. Ethan finally reunites with his team and meets Ilsa. Benji informs him that midnight gala is hosted by none other than the famous arms dealer Alana, and Grace must be going there to give the key to her. Luther shows Ethan the feed from the airport and identifies Gabriel. He assumes him to be working for the Entity, as only Entity has the power to make someone invisible to every camera. But that person can only be seen in a reflection of a mirror. Ilsa and Ethan go to the midnight gala, where they are ushered to meet Alana. Grace and Gabriel are already there. Alana introduces Gabriel as someone who has a party interested in the key. Ethan assumes Alana already has one half of the key. When Gabriel gives the Entity's introduction, it appears on all the screens. He says you all don't know how powerful the entity is, with all the permutations and combinations it can do. I already know Alana has a buyer, who she is going to meet on the train tomorrow, to sell the key. But I am the one who will get the key tomorrow. And he also tells one of the girls, either Ilsa or Grace is going to die today. Ethan tells both of them to run. All three manage to run from there. Ethan, who is chasing Grace, is given directions by Benji, but suddenly, the entity overrides Benji, and gives wrong directions to Ethan, making him reach a dead end, where Paris is waiting to kill him. After a fight, Ethan, who beats Paris, lets her survive. On the other side, Grace reaches a spot where Gabriel is waiting. He and Grace have a fight, but he beats Grace. Ilsa also reaches there, and they both fight, too, but Gabriel kills her. Ethan reaches there to find Grace, and Ilsa's dead body. Ethan brings Grace back to their station, where they tell her she has no choice other than to help, as the police knows her identity. They ask her to help and board the train, on which Alana is going to meet the buyer. Luther tells Ethan, no matter what, Ethan cannot kill Gabriel, as he only knows what the key does. Next day, on the train, Gabriel kills the engineer and fireman of the train, and destroys the throttle and brakes. He and Paris meet U.S. Intelligence Director Denlinger. He wants to join hands with the entity. He tells Gabriel that he is the only person who knows the exact location of the sunken submarine. He also knows the original code of the entity is loaded on its computer, and the person who can get access to that code controls the entity. Listening this, Gabriel kills him. He also kills Paris, as he thinks, as Ethan let her live, she can betray him and tell him the secret. Wearing Alana's mask, Grace goes to meet the buyer, who happens to be Kittredge. On the table, she doesn't feel right to betray Ethan. She pickpockets the key, and flees from there. Ethan lands on the train using a parachute and saves Grace, but somehow Gabriel gets the key, which is fallen on the floor. Ethan and Gabriel have a fight over the roof of the train. Ethan overpowers him but does not kill him. Gabriel jumps off the train. Gabriel initiates a bomb which is planted over the upcoming bridge. When he checks his pocket for the key, he finds a lighter. Ethan pickpockets the key from him during the fight and placed the lighter. Grace and Ethan go to separate the locomotive from the engine to save the passengers. Doing so, they are stuck in the falling train. Paris comes to save them. She tells Ethan about the submarine, and the secret it holds. Ethan tells Grace he has to go and jumps off the train. Grace meets Kittredge and tells him she wants to join the IMF, as told to her by Ethan. On the other side, Ethan meets Benji, and they both drive off with the key. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to watch latest and interesting movies. And please write in comments movies you want to see.